Hello, hello, my loves. Okay, so we're starting a little bit early, only a few minutes. Thankfully, I was able to hop on just like that. I didn't give me any problems today, but I had everything set up about 15 minutes ahead of time to make sure. All right, so I'll just give everyone a few moments to Okay, guys, so we'll give it a few more moments because it's not quite 5:30 yet. Thank you so much for joining me, everyone. Okay. So I can't wait to hop into this particular topic. This topic today is value. And I'm going to throw a few curveballs that maybe you've never really had thrown at you before. Most of us have probably never had thrown at us. So we're going to have so much fun with this. This was a hard topic to get into because there are so many different perspectives and variations of this. I'm going to introduce myself. My name is Melany Hope. I'm a quantum energy practitioner. So I kind of work within the metaphysical and the quantum side of things, the quantum physics, metaphysics. And I work a lot with intuition and teaching people about intuition as well. So getting into value is always fun because it goes against the grain for a lot of people in a lot of areas. Value is something that really needs to be expressed in a way that it's not expressed. See, value is not one particular thing. Value is a number because value means something different to every person who is describing that value. And in the world that we live in, a lot of us get our value from going outside of ourselves, finding validation from other people, relationships, possessions, etc., so on and so forth. You get the idea. Success. That whole idea of success. What is that really? Well, it's you getting your value from a place that is exterior, outside of yourself. That's what it is. It's not actual, true, real value. When a baby is born, if it doesn't have a house and a car, and you get the idea, tons of money, then that child is not any less valuable, right? Sorry, I need to blow my nose here for a second. And we need to understand that value is not the way that we see value as adults. Value needs to be the way that we see value as children. So let's unpack this a bit more. I know I'm a bit distracted today, guys. I'm pulling in the energies here so that I can be a little bit more engaging. Your value is not from what you have, and is not from what you do, and is not from where you're from or anything like that. Your value is who you are, the person that you are. Before you were born, your value was not based on the way you looked or anything like that. Your value was simply that you were you. You were a new life coming into the planet. You were not something that there could even be any value placed on. You were still priceless. And if we could see ourselves with that value as we get older, as we become adults, as we gain these experiences, then it would be a very different world for us to live in. Like I said, there are so many different ways to unpack this. But let's go into a little bit more of the materialistic side of the value. Okay, let's go into the side of value where the things around you have particular values placed on them. Let's unpack that a bit. Okay, you are not very likely to spend money on something if you don't feel that it has a value. Now, let me put this a step further so that you really understand where I'm coming from here. You are not going to be ready to spend money on anything if you do not believe that you have a value. So this gets a little bit down the rabbit hole, and I'm just going to come out and say the things that I have to say, because although I know that I will lose followers for doing it, I believe that it's important, because there are some of us out there that really could use this information. Anything that requires you to look for external validation is a lie, and you are being used. This is so hard for so many people to understand, because they were raised with religion. They were raised with certain dogmas. They were raised with this understanding to get their validation from a relationship, or from their parents, or from their siblings, or from their education. They were not good enough themselves. They were not good enough. You were never good enough without having some kind of external thing to validate your worth. And this is where I say you were used, and you were manipulated, and you were controlled. Because you should never have to go outside of yourself. So that if you really truly the reality, the world that you live in. Otherwise, you will continuously be going outside of yourself for validation, and you'll put yourself in a place where you always need to go outside of yourself for validation. And I really, really, really want to encourage everyone to understand that the whole reason for this is to benefit someone else. You not validating yourself is actually not going to do anything for you. It's going to do something for someone else. The person who's selling what you need to validate you. Because anyone who is selling something is going to take you and say, but you would be so much better with this. This is one reason I don't advertise, guys. This is one reason that everything is word of mouth or on my pages and whatnot, is because I really do not believe that I should be out there telling people, oh, you'd be so much better if I was your mentor. You'd be so much better a person if you were taking this course, or you were doing this, or you were doing that. Because I don't believe that we have the right to do that as people. I don't believe that we have the right to tell another individual that they would be better for something. I believe that they are perfectly majestic and amazing in that they are, in that they were that from the day of their birth. And so, yes, I struggle a lot with consumerism, because consumerism is making somebody what they're not. It's all about selling you something so that you can be a better version of you. And that's true. In the 3D reality, we do want to be the best versions of ourselves. But no one has the right to tell you that you need to buy their product in order to be that. So when you gauge value, whether you're someone who is someone else's client or a consumer, or you are someone who is a coach or mentor, someone who provides services to others, an entrepreneur, whomever you may be, please understand that the value of a person is determined by them. You don't get to determine their value. You don't get to pick them apart and tell them what is wrong with them. They're the only one that gets to do that. And then if they say, you know, I feel I could change this area of my life, or I feel that I want to do this, or I feel that I want to do that, then we're there. And we're there to care. But we're not there to tell people that they're not good enough without us. As a coach, as a mentor, as anyone who is a service provider, especially a metaphysical service provider, someone who has a really, really hard time accepting any kind of payment for their services because they're a healer and they use energy to do it. It's very hard for us to accept payment from anyone because we just wish we could give that out to the entire world without thinking twice. We just want to heal everybody, and we really do. But the value there is, it's very draining and it's very exhausting for an energy worker or for a mentor or somebody who's connecting with somebody else's energy in order to heal them. And so we have to have a value in ourselves that yes, okay, our services are worth something. But you also do not want to have anyone as a client who does not have enough value in themselves to pay you what they feel they are worth. And so this is really the key to being a service provider of any kind. If someone ever asks you for a free service, you simply say, is that all the value that you have in yourself? And I know that's hard. That's hard for a lot of us. But if we believe in our value, we don't have a problem paying someone else. We don't. Because that's a value that we're putting on ourselves. That's an investment that we're putting on ourselves and in ourselves. So if you're a coach or mentor or any of the things I just mentioned, an entrepreneur, someone who offers services to someone else, ask you for a free service, they are speaking to the value that they have in themselves, not necessarily the value that they have in your service. So please, please, don't become offended. Don't become frustrated. Don't let your vibrations drop down when someone asks you for something for free. As within, so without. The way another person acts is more about them always than it does about you. So I kind of put a lot of things all together in this chat about value in this mini podcast. But I felt it was really important to cover these things. And most of all, to focus on self-love. To put this out there at least one more time. Now, I usually do several times in every one of my podcasts, but you don't need to go outside of yourself to find validation. Whether it's a product, whether it's a service, where you need to start is inside of yourself. Love yourself, honor yourself, and then let that love spill out onto everybody else. It will change your life. If you really focus on that alone, that self-love, You won't need anyone else. You won't need a coach. You won't need a mentor. You won't need sessions with anyone. You can heal yourself by doing that. Of course, you can accelerate that process by having someone to coach you through it. But this is something you truly decide for yourself, to honor yourself without thinking about your education or your car or your house or any of those things that you find validation in, your job, in society. If you can just dedicate to loving yourself, then you will change your life. All right, everyone. I will leave a link in the description for my business page, Melany Hope, Quantum Energy Practitioner, Lemurian Healing. I will do that, but this was not meant to be a sales pitch in any way. I really, really want you to feel me right now and feel everything that I'm saying deep inside of you, and know that you are fully worthy of honoring yourself. And make a commitment to yourself that you will never, ever, ever again let someone tell you that you need their product, that you need their attention, that you need their knowledge, that you need anything in order to feel or be good enough. Because you are enough. You are worthy, just in the fact that you're here. Namaste. I love you all. Gratitude always.